Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
We're talking about veterinary medicine in today's program. Maybe you are considering a career as an animal doctor or a veterinarian. And if you need some inspiration, maybe you could tune into Animal Planet and check out this program about Dr. Chris Brown. In the program Vet Gone Wild, and we're describing him as Vet Extraordinaire. He's a veterinarian that goes out of the clinic and tries to help out animals in different parts of the world. Let's see, last time he was helping out some elephants in a sanctuary in Thailand. And in today's program, he's going to be going to Australia, I believe, to help out some seals down there.
Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, he's going to be meeting up with a research scientist who's in Australia. So let's check out what happens. We're going to read through the article and then we'll be back. On another episode, Dr. Chris meets up with Dr. Beck McIntosh, a research scientist with Australia's Phillip Island Nature Parks. She works with the wild fur seals that live on the island. Her team is heading out to Seal Rock to care for seals that have gotten caught in fishing lines or nets. The debris gets caught around the seals' necks, and as they grow, it cuts deep into their skin, eventually strangling them or severing their veins. The plan is for Beck and her team to capture the seals while Dr. Chris removes the debris and provides any necessary medical care. Straight away, they spot a seal with a fishing line wrapped around her neck. Unfortunately, the line's cut through her fur and fat and is millimeters away from severing important veins. Carefully, Dr. Chris pulls the line from the wound and cuts it loose. Happy to be free, the seal bounds toward the ocean. Since seal's blubber contains natural antibiotics that resist infection, there's no need for further care. Next, Beck spots Tangles, a young seal with a net wrapped around his body. Beck has tried to capture him before, but he's always managed to slip away. This time, however, they catch him, and Dr. Chris cuts the net off. Though they're relieved to see the net hasn't done any damage, their success is bittersweet. The ever-increasing levels of ocean pollution mean the seals they've rescued today are just the tip of the iceberg. To see more exciting rescues and learn about the inspiring conservation work Dr. Chris and these animal advocates do, tune in to Animal Planet's Vet Gone Wild this October.
Okay, welcome back. Let's start talking about the content of today's lesson. Again, we're talking about Dr. Chris Brown, Vet Extraordinaire, a great veterinarian trying to save all the animals in the world. So we talked about one episode in which he takes care of some elephants in Thailand. Well, on another episode, you could also say in another episode, Dr. Chris meets up with Dr. Beck McIntosh, a research scientist with Australia's Phillip Island Nature Parks. So we're going down under here to Australia, and we're going to meet Dr. Beck McIntosh. And Dr. Chris here, Dr. Chris Brown, is going to team up with her. It says here he's going to meet up with her, which means he meets her, and then they start working together. So they're going to cooperate here to save some animals at this nature park, or at least one of these islands in this nature park in Australia, the Phillip Island Nature Parks. I guess there's more than one park on Phillip Island here.
Now, Beck McIntosh works with the wild fur seals that live on the island. That's her job, which I think would be fun out there. I love seals. They're so cute. They're wild. They're not pets. And they're also the fur seals. There are different types of breeds, you could say, of seals. Her team is heading out to a place called Seal Rock. We know it's the name of an area because it's capitalized, Seal Rock, to care for seals that have gotten caught caught in fishing lines or nets. I didn't even know this could happen. So you're probably going to see some pretty sad seals that have been caught in fishing lines or nets that the fishermen use to bring in their catch of the day. Now, the debris gets caught around the seals' necks. And as they get bigger, because they're growing, as they're growing from baby seal to adult seal, it cuts. And what is cutting into them are those lines. It cuts deep into their skin, eventually strangling them or severing their veins. This sounds terrible.
It does.
Debris is a kind of a weird word. It looks like debris, but it's not. It's French, and so you don't pronounce the S. And it's a word that's non-count. You can't say debris. There's no other form, so this is the only form you can use. And debris is kind of the leftovers from something. People will often go on picnics and then they forget to take all their pop cans, or maybe they left some paper where they were having their picnic. That's the debris. It's garbage, a lot of it. So the debris gets caught around the seals' necks, and as they grow, it really hurts them. What does strangling mean? We use it as a joke sometimes. If you make your parents upset, maybe you're being naughty. My mom used to say, I'm going to strangle you. When I catch you, I'm going to strangle you. Now, if you strangle someone, you take both of your hands, you put them around someone's neck, and you squeeze. You can actually strangle someone to death. You can kill them that way. But that's what these lines are doing. They're cutting off the air, I think, probably as they strangle them.
Exactly. So you kind of choke somebody and you strangle them to death. But this is what's happening to these fur seals. Some fishing nets and other debris, perhaps the discarded plastic in the ocean or something, is getting around their necks. And my goodness, it grows into that skin or cuts into the skin. And it will eventually strangle them, choke them to death, or it may sever their veins. Here, sever just means to cut, and veins, of course, are blood vessels in the body. Veins and arteries. Okay, veins, I think, are the ones that flow back to the heart, and arteries are the ones that take blood away from the heart. But here in the next paragraph, it says, the plan is for Beck and her team to capture the seals, while Dr. Chris removes the debris and provides any necessary medical care. So this is their plan. This is their strategy. We're going to capture those seals. Okay, that's Beck's job here. Beck and her team and all her assistants, they're going to capture the seals. The word capture here just means to catch something, especially if it's free. If somebody, for example, if a criminal escapes from prison, the police need to capture that escaped criminal and put him back in prison. But here they're going to capture the seals. They're going to catch them. And then while they've got them in captivity, Dr. Chris is going to get rid of those fishing nets and the plastic and all that stuff. He's going to remove the debris. And here we've got the verb to remove. That just means to take something away. For example, if you are unfortunate enough to have a tumor growing inside you, you might need to have surgery to remove that tumor, get rid of it.
And then they provide any necessary medical care after they've gotten rid of the debris. Straight away, it says, they spot a seal with a fishing line wrapped around her neck. This phrase, straight away, means immediately. Maybe your boss wants you to go and pick up something outside, maybe at another office, and you could say, oh, when do you want me to go? The boss could say, straight away, which just means immediately, don't delay, go now. So straight away or almost immediately after they remove that debris, they see another seal, and this one has a fishing line wrapped around her neck. Notice here, guys, I wanted to mention our writer uses her to talk about a female seal. I've noticed in Taiwan, you guys don't like to give pets her, him. You say it. To be honest, most Americans, we use her and him on animals, depending on what sex they are. There's no problem with using that. I think it sounds sweeter and kinder, especially to your pet, instead of saying it. it. I gotta feed it. We do talk to our animals using her and him a lot more, and she and he than it.
Well, we will say it if we don't know the gender of the animal, like a wild rabbit. Hey, shoot that rabbit. Go get it. But if it's our pets, our dog, or our cat, we're certainly going to know the gender.
You should.
We will call it him, her, or she, and he, etc., etc. So, indeed, they spot a seal with a line wrapped around her neck. They know the seal is female. Unfortunately, the line's cut through her fur, and fat is millimeters away from severing important veins. Okay, so yes, indeed, unfortunately, the line is cut through the fur and the fat. So it's only a few millimeters away from cutting or severing very important veins. So here we have unfortunately, which is the opposite of fortunately. I could say, for example, hey, we were going to go hiking this weekend, but unfortunately, it started to rain and the trails would be all muddy, so we're not going to go. But, the opposite could be true. It was raining on Friday, but fortunately, the sun came out on Saturday and we were able to go hiking. But this is bad here. Unfortunately, the line is cut through the fur of the seal, and it has also cut through the fat there. I guess you could also call that the blubber, which we'll get to later on here. And that fishing line is about to cut those important veins. They've got to act fast to save this seal's life.
I wanted to mention, we use that word blubber to talk about crying, too. If someone's crying a lot, you might hear someone say, oh, stop blubbering. But yeah, it can mean fat. Besides seals, what other animal
I think whales have blubber.
Yeah, whales
seals
have
and
blubber.
Whales, yeah,
it's kind of a fun word. Anyway, we've got Dr. Chris who pulls the line from the wound, cuts it loose, and happy to be free, that seal bounds toward the ocean. I bet. It would be hard. It's very hard for them to, they don't have hands and fingers like we do, so they couldn't just take that line away from their neck by themselves. So since seal's blubber contains natural antibiotics, or you could say antibiotics, it's up to you. I usually say anti, but who knows? It's kind of half and half, the pronunciation.
Sure.
This blubber is really great. I never knew this about blubber. It resists infection, so it's a way of protecting that seal from some of the wounds they might get while they're swimming, or maybe on the rocks. Some of those rocks that they're on are quite sharp. They might get a cut that way. But their blubber is really nice because it resists infection. If you resist something, it's some way to keep something away from you, to resist, to say no to it. Here, it just means it sort of can withstand it. It prevents infection by that antibiotic characteristic that it has. I never knew that before. It's kind of a cool thing. So there's no need for further care. That seal's own blubber will then do the rest of the job. They don't have to flush out the wound like they did with the elephant, remember?
Yes, I do remember indeed. So it sounds like blubber is a pretty good thing for seals and whales.
Totally.
Maybe walruses have them too. I'm not quite sure. Have it. Blubber would be non-count. How much blubber does a whale have, for example? Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Here comes our Chinese teacher.
Hi everyone, my name's Jenny. 好，今天我们要继续来看第4单元。那我们现在要来看的是另外一集的节目。Dr. Chris 这一次跟别的医生合作，这另外一位他是一个，其实不是医生，他是一个 research scientist， 他是一个研究科学家，他在澳洲，在澳洲这里有一个菲利普岛自然公园，所以呢，这一次他 Dr. Chris 就到这边来要帮忙。怎么帮忙呢？原来有一些这些野生的海狗，它们的脖子呢会被一些鱼线啦或是渔网缠住，然后呢这个线呢甚至于会慢慢的切到皮肤里，然后把它们勒死或是切断它们的血管，所以真的是让我们觉得我们应该要注意这个问题。好，不过我们要来看一下这一段里头 后面最后他提到说这个线呢，这些渔网它切到皮肤里面，然后 eventually strangling them or severing their veins。 这个地方 eventually strangling 看到了这个 ing， 当然我们知道在我们英文写句子的时候，作为修饰语用的这一部分，我们会把它变成一个分词的结构，让句子句构变得简洁，这样子的写法常见。像这个地方逗点后面 eventually strangling， 当然它原来你也可以说加一个连接词进来，意思就是 and eventually strangle them， 不过我们不用那么累赘，就把它简化成为一个分词的结构，做修饰语就可以了。所以相对的后面这个字 severing， 这个切割这个字 sever 也把它加了 ing。 好，我们看到下面一段，下面呢就提到了这个团队在澳洲的这个团队他们怎么做呢？他们是打算要把这些海狗给捕捉起来，然后呢 Chris 医生就可以帮他们做处理。好，那果然在节目里面他们就发现有一只海狗有这样的状况，而且呢它几乎再差个几毫米就会把它重要的血管给切断了。好，我们看到这个地方基本上在描述说他们看到的那一只海狗有的状况是 a seal with a fishing line wrapped around her neck。 这个地方我们还是要注意一下，因为我们知道在英文里面 with W-I-T-H 这个介系词它的确常常表明一种附带的状况，然后呢用来修饰前面或者是一个句子，表示当时什么样的情形。那这边谈到的是这个 seal， 他说他当时呢脖子圈着或者是包覆着一个 fishing net， 一个鱼线。那我们这里用到 with， 然后再加 a fishing net 这个名词当受词用，后面再加一个受词补语，受词补语也就是 wrapped 这个过去分词要特别注意，因为你谈的是说这个线是被包覆在它的脖子上，所以用的是过去分词。好咯，那接下来还有一个地方要注意的，就是我们要来看看跟数学有关的概念，因为谈到说那个线几乎在差个几毫米就要切断它的血管，这个 millimeter 我们注意一下，其实英文里面当然就单位来看，我们知道 meter 代表的是公尺，那你在公尺前面加一个 milli M-I-L-L-I 这样的字首，它其实就代表千分之一。所以如果你讲公分1公尺的1000分之一是 millimeter 是毫米，但是1公尺的100%是公分，所以你前面是加一个 centi centimeter， 因为 centi 就代表1%，所以这其实是蛮有趣的。我们以后看到这些字首就知道单位大概是多少了。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We shall now continue with our lesson, and we've been talking about Dr. Chris here, Dr. Chris Brown, meeting up with Dr. Beck McIntosh down there in Australia, and they're trying to help out some fur seals. They go out to a particular island there, I guess, and they see a seal with a fishing line wrapped around its neck. They need to get that line off of the fur seal's neck in order to save its life, and they're able to do that. And the nice thing is that the seal's blubber already contains natural antibiotics, or 抗生素, so they don't have to go take those pills, like 3 times a day or something like that, like we do when we take antibiotics. And, of course, they have natural ones that resist that infection. So hopefully that seal is now swimming happily in the ocean. Now, next, Beck spots tangles a young seal with a net wrapped around its body. So here there's a seal there, and they spot the seal. They see it there, and they've given this seal a name, Tangles, which I think probably comes from the fact that the seal is tangled up in a fish net. And a tangle, of course, can be used to describe string when it kind of gets all mixed together, or your hair gets all tangled, and so you need to comb it or clean it or something like that. So this particular seal has been given the nickname Tangles. It's got a net wrapped around its body. Oh no, what are they going to do?
Oh, Beck has tried to capture him before, but he's always managed to slip away. I would imagine, I've never touched a seal. Maybe I did when I was a kid. We went to, what was that place in San Diego called?
SeaWorld or something like that?
SeaWorld, yeah, fun place. So, their bodies are kind of slick. Plus, they usually have water on them. They're right there next to the ocean. So they're very slippery. Slippery is an adjective form of the verb slip. And here we're using a verb phrase to slip away. Sometimes you might want to slip away from home, maybe to go meet a friend, slip away so no one notices you. I'm just going to slip away now and do a little shopping. He's pretty slippery, so he's managed to slip away from this team of research scientists. Beck is leading that team, of course. But this time, however, the team of research scientists got lucky, and they managed to catch that little slippery Tangles. And Dr. Chris then is able to cut the net off from Tangles. Remember, he's a young seal with a net wrapped around his body. Poor little guy. You'd think that he would not want to slip away and get that net taken from him, but he's wild. He doesn't understand what they want. For all he knows, they might want to kill him and eat him or whatever you do with seals.
It's kind of interesting, of course. Sometimes animals don't understand that you're trying to help them.
Yeah.
But at other times, it seems like they do understand that you're trying to help them out. This particular seal, well, it doesn't really know that, so it keeps trying to get away, to escape, to slip away. But they caught him, and they cut the net off. And though they're relieved to see the net hasn't done any damage, their success is bittersweet. So they are relieved. You're relieved when you receive some good news. Okay, so for example, maybe you went to see the doctor and the doctor said, well, you know, we spotted something on the x-ray, so we're going to have to give you an extra blood test or something. And my goodness, after you leave the doctor's office and go home, you're probably all nervous. Oh, my goodness, what is that thing they found? Could that be cancer? Am I a goner or something?
Scary.
And so when you go back to the doctor the next time, the doctor says, oh, that was nothing. It was just a little growth there, which is not going to cause any problems. So then you will feel extremely relieved. Oh, I'm so relieved that that wasn't cancer or something like that. So here they are relieved. They're very happy to see that the net hasn't caused any damage. But in the back of their minds, they know that, well, this doesn't solve the total problem. For every one seal that we help, there are probably maybe another 100 out there who have problems and that we're just not ever going to be able to help. So their success is bittersweet. And bittersweet means, well, it's good, but bad at the same time.
Yeah, well, you can also use it to describe foods and the way it tastes. You know, it's bittersweet. I think dark chocolate is kind of bitter with a little sweet as well. But yeah, we use it to talk about an experience that was probably really good, but at the same time very sad. That's hard. The ever-increasing levels of ocean pollution mean the seals they've rescued today are just the tip of the iceberg. If you rescue something, of course, you save something that's in danger, perhaps of being hurt or maybe even being killed. So they're rescuing these little seals from dangerous or difficult situations. When you say something's just the tip of the iceberg, it means it's just a little part of the problem. There's so much more to the problem that you can't see and that you can't resolve, but at least you're trying a little bit. An iceberg only shows the tip above the ocean water. The biggest portion of an iceberg is below the surface of the ocean. You don't even see that part, and that's the part that usually the ships run into or the boats run into and it collapses or
like
capsizes
the Titanic.
them. Yeah, Titanic. Yeah, it hit an iceberg. So just the tip of the iceberg, it's just a little part of the problem, but there's so much more to handle.
Yeah, like, for example, I think it was last year when the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke.
Yeah.
They were saying, oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are lots of other men who have been harassing women out there, and we've yet to hear their stories. So here we're talking about saving seals, and, well, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of seals out there who are suffering from pollution and fishing lines and stuff like that. So to see more exciting rescues and learn about the inspiring conservation work Dr. Chris and these animal advocates do, tune in to Animal Planet's Vet Gone Wild this October. Interesting here. So you're seeing about their conservation work. And when we see the word conservation, of course, I often think of the great outdoors. People trying to protect the environment, trying to do conservation work to protect forests and things like that, to prevent soil erosion, or in this case, to help animals who are in peril or who are in need.
Yeah, in danger, right? So hopefully they can keep doing this really important work and helping these animals. This is something you want to tune into if you really love animals, especially animals in the wild. Or maybe you have a great desire to one day become a vet. This is someone you might want to look to as an example, maybe follow in his footsteps. Right now we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher one more time, and then we'll be back to say goodbye.
好，我们来继续看一下。好，讲到这个 Dr. Chris Brown， 他到处帮这些野生动物的忙，来照料这些野生动物。他这次到澳洲来，然后呢，他怎么样帮这个快要被这个鱼线给切断血管的海狗，让它可以活过来，受到照料。那后面就有提到了，其实不止这样，它有另外一个 Tangles， 这一只也是一个年幼的海狗。好，那当然一样的，受到了 Chris 医生的在他的指导之下，果然 Tangles 就很放心的，然后呢回到了海里。不过我们看到这些的状况，就知道说海洋受污染的程度一直不断的增加。我们来看这个字，不断增加 ever increasing。 我们晓得 ever 这个呢，你可以解释它是一种强调的口吻，而且它往往都含有 always all the time 这样的含义，所以这也就是为什么我们把 ever 放在这里，再加 increasing 就表示不断增加。好，今天我们的讲解就到这边结束，我们下次见。
That is all the time we have for today, everybody, but it's been a pleasure having you with us, and it will be even more of a pleasure if we learn that you actually tune in to Animal Planet and check out this program. Maybe our introduction to this program will inspire you to do some conservation work, or at the very least, it will help you improve your English abilities. So thanks for joining us. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.